Thank you, boss.
Thank you.
The fucking Dalai Lama shit, man. On video. In front of the world. Fucking kid gets up there. I guess he gives the kid like a hug. And
the kid asks, can I give you a hug?
He pulls him in for the hug. Gives him a kiss on the cheek as well.
The Dalai Lama says, here. And he kisses him.
Oh, and he turned the last second. Caught him on the lipstick. That old shit. Like,
no, he goes, kid, he goes like this. He goes
the
like,
last minute?
Dude, he goes like this. He goes, no, okay. He goes, yeah, I'll give you a hug. Then he goes, okay, give me a kiss right here. And then the kid gives him a kiss on the cheek. And then
the Dalai Lama apologized on Monday after footage showed him asking a young boy to, quote, suck my tongue at a public event. Reuters has not been able to obtain access to that moment, but this footage shows their exchange before the incident. A statement on the 87-year-old's Twitter said, quote, a video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness the Dalai Lama if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologise to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. The statement said the Tibetan spiritual leader often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, and that he regrets the incident. The video also shows the Nobel Peace Laureate apparently giving the boy a peck on the lips in front of a clapping and laughing audience, while a man captures the moment on a phone. The Dalai Lama fled to India in 1959 after a failed uprising against Chinese rule.
Yeah, dude, Sean's dad's right. It's fucked. Dude, you see what I mean, man? That's just that
right away. That whatever press is covering, whoever, like the right away their pictures, like, or whoever they're reporting on is playful. He says things like,
that's the Michael Jackson defense.
Man,
that's a Michael Jackson defense. Oh,
fuck
it's just
that shit, man. That's exactly what they told you on Michael Jackson and all the other bullshit that they feed on you.
I didn't have a fucking childhood. So it's just innocent, playful. It's the world that thinks all these evil things. Come on, hold my hand. Let's go over and terrorize Bubbles. That's exactly what it is. And no, it isn't playful. And yeah, it was caught on tape. And you know what's weird? I'm so brainwashed by the fucking California shit that I was like, I don't know. That's the Dalai Lama? Right? The Dalai Lama. And then I was like, maybe it's a deep fake. But then when the Dalai Lama's office apologized, and they're like, oh, we're sorry. We didn't mean.
We're sorry. You fucking did a little bit too much meth. Too much meth in the morning. Like, he overdid. He had a couple scotches, one too many sake. I don't know what the fuck.
He'd been up all night saving the world. You know how he is. And so now it's all of a sudden you're like, they apologize.
We didn't give him his meds. He didn't take his meds. He would have never said. We don't even know the things he says when he's not on his meds.
I got the video.
The problem is he was not, somehow he didn't take his meds.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little boy's lips.
And suck my tongue.
Then asking
he said it in English.
Oh no, the kid did it?
No. No.
Dalai Lama with a little boy kissing him inappropriately and then proceeding to stick his tongue out and asking the boy
Stop. I don't want to watch that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man, that's it really is disturbing, man. Just to even watch the image. I won't even watch that clip, bro. Shit gives me shit creeps. What a man, dude. Really, bro? Really?
Yeah, really. And that's not even. You know what, man?
Dude, that's in front of the world. Like, this guy's gotta be a monster when nobody's looking. He's probably taking his robe off, just walking around fucking.
No, man, Harvey Keitel. He's a Harvey Keitel.
Hey, but you got to do a read over.
Why?
Harvey Keitel's never done anything like that.
That's true, but I'm saying he's using his position and influence to attack kids, bro.
But you know who Harvey Keitel is?
No, oh yeah.
Harvey
What's the other?
Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. Right, you're right.
Harvey Keitel is a shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
He is.
Yeah.
So far as we know up to this point.
Hey, sport. Hey, sport. He didn't mean that. He didn't mean that, sport. All right.
Right. Harvey Weinstein. Thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You're
That was a
welcome.
good thing you did there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So he's a Harvey Weinstein, a child predators, bro. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm like,
yes,
you
I
have
agree
a whole,
1,000%.
you have a whole system where they go and they get kids who are supposedly reincarnated llamas and they take them from the families and bring them up to this fucking castle where they train them in special Buddhism.
So listen, check it out.
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you guys real quickly how they fucking decide who these boys are that reincarnate. They show up in a Sprinter van, all right? Or some shit like that, right? And a couple of these cats pop out to these houses in the slums where they got nothing. You got a young boy between the ages of 10, 14.
That's true. They bring them all.
And they all bring them, right? They're all bringing out. The whole town brings them out.
Yeah.
Right? You get what I'm
right.
saying? The whole
Yeah.
town brings
They're
them.
all trained to
And
bring
what-
them out.
And I think they, get them alone with one of these guru, right, guys? Or
Yeah.
that's a man that really is, and they just, kind of maybe do some inappropriate stuff right there. And like, what do you think about that?
Oh, dude, I think.
Or if they don't go running out that bus and they just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're
That-
fucking with kids, bro. And
First of all, they're so inundated with the culture of this thing
Mm-hmm.
that the parents think it's a great honor. This is Michael Jackson 101.
right.
So these kids
Right.
go there. These kids don't know. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something, man. If I was to tell you, you would have to believe that every single one of these guys, first of all, they're never finding reincarnated women that are llamas most of the time. They never find a little girl. It's always a little boy.
Yeah.
And
Maybe that's part of maybe in their literature or their, whatever you call it, in their, what they believe in the writings of their belief.
And
maybe,
imagine.
Maybe it says it's only for boys or only men carry.
No. There's been criticisms against Tibetan Buddhism because of not allowing many female monks, women monks.
Okay.
All right. And they've been trying to modernize it a little bit, but not the reincarnation style, like the way the Dalai Lama was found that way. He was taken from his parents at like 4, 5, 6 or something like that. Okay. They brought the Dalai Lama up there and a bunch of other Panchant Lama and all these other motherfuckers. You would have to believe wholeheartedly that these strange men that you don't know are all about compassion and they've got their sex thing under control because they're totally detached. They've let go of all earthly desire. You'd have to believe that these kids are fine there. And you might be able to say, what if like a 25% of them really are like that, but there's 75% mediocre fuckfaces that give in to these base craven desires.
Well, listen, I think you're right on par with a lot of that. And
like the Catholic Church, now the Tibetan Buddhists, Boy Scouts. What the fuck is out there anymore?
Listen, but you also have to think of this, Juman.
Huh.
I mean, just got to put this I got to say this and put it in perspective. How long has that institution been doing this? Answer me that question. Just give me an idea where your head puts a number or time.
Probably since the 1200s, 1100s, maybe 1000s. They were the Tibetan. So this Buddhist system, this sort of system, Dalai Lama means ocean of wisdom. It was given to them by the Mongols. I don't know if it was directly like Genghis Khan or one of his sons, but the Mongols. Now remember, the Mongols, as cool as it seems, really did go around and just kill the fucking
The Mongolians. Yeah, bro.
The Mongol hordes, they're the only people that overtook Great Wall of China, and they did, dude. These guys.
Oh, they're the.
Listen, they got to a point where they didn't have enough time to kill everybody. So what they would do is get a giant horse wagon with a bunch of blades at neck high and have the whole town stand in a line and go at a gallop and rip off everyone's head at the same time. And that's not an exaggeration. That's not made up. That's in historical documents. There's even historical documents where people went to where these Mongols had been, right? And it was like, oh, it's all muddy here. 3 feet of mud. It was all blood mixed with the fucking dirt on top of this mountain. But okay. Those people said to the Tibetan monks, this is the Dalai Lama, ocean of wisdom. He taught pacifism, right? This whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. Their special brand has the reincarnation, which is like, okay, so this important monk, his spirit went into some boy. And now this boy who doesn't know anything yet is going to be cared for by these special monks, these lamas, who are then going to raise him up as the greatest mind. And you would have to believe that there was absolutely no perverts throughout that whole system. And if you've ever seen that monastery they got in Tibet, it's like huge. 8 floors, fucking gigantic. It looks like Jabba's palace from the outside on Tatooine. It's like huge. So it's full of monks. So if you're in the, you're not going to marry some chick because you're like, ooh, adult women disgust me, that kind of person like Michael, you might actually be like, I got to get into this fucking giant house full of guys and little boys. That would attract you. You would go there. That would probably be someplace that you could work out these demons in private and no one's going to report you. Just like they did in the Catholic Church. Catholic Church was well aware of all these pedophiles, for sure. The Catholic Church was so aware of it that in other countries and other states, they had rehabilitation centers. They were the forefront of how to deal with pedophilia because they'd been studying it and they would send these priests off to get the treatment. Of course, none of it really worked, but they knew it. So these guys, there's no way the Tibetan monks didn't know.
Wait a minute, dog. That's all. Dude, we have to do a show on that. Dude, we need to do a show. Bro, please, can we please do a show on that?
Yeah. Yes.
Can we mark that? Somebody mark a note on that. Fucking
yes.
Send me the reminder. We need to do a deep dive on that, bro. Okay, but anyways.
Yeah, so all of that, okay? Mm-hmm. All of that's for sure going on. And me included, we're all bamboozled, just like we were bamboozled with Michael in the beginning. Nobody questioned.
Bamboozled with the Boy Scouts in the beginning. Right?
Nobody questioned why do grown men want to prefer to spend time with young boys they're not related to. It's problematic at best. I'm sorry, but it just is. Like what youth pastor is like, oh, I just can't wait to go camping with little Jimmy. That's where I really feel the presence of God. As soon as I hear that, I'm running for the hills. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck you and fuck the presence of God. I am not getting into any weird shit with that. And dude, every time you scratch the surface of any of these religions, and I'm me, Chumahan, I'm going on board. It even touched the American Indian community. There's some guy that was in Dances with Wolves that started his own cult, and then turned out he was like assaulting women. Okay.
I think it goes across all lines. Like anybody can be a sick fuck like that.
But what I'm saying is if you're dealing with an organization that thinks they've got the key to life, you know what? Don't bring your kids there, and don't ever lay down for a massage. Because something's going on. Nobody's that interested in this metaphysical bullshit. I mean, think about how boring church is. I'm sorry, I apologize, but really think about all the shit you got to do at a church or a cult. Really think about how much energy that is. Who would really do that? Who would be that invested in wasting their life on something like that they can't prove? I mean, really, you can't prove it. Thanks. I mean, I know you're really upset, Big Pick Mike. I'm glad you came.
I apologize about that.
Remember,
I'm writing notes, dude. Sorry.
Like you said, what religions or whatever it might be.
Yeah, cults.
But
like
right, and I don't think all of these are all communities that are all of them. I don't think all.
You're probably right, and I respect that. I'm saying for me, now the default is the other way for me. For me. Defaults the other way. You're in some kind of... Even guru sobriety people, midnight something, I can't remember what it is. I've heard all kinds of crazy stories by guru sobriety people.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I'm going to show you how to have fun in sobriety. Zip.
He said zip.
Nothing.
God damn.
Yeah, I did.
Is that what was going on?
And so from what I understand, these political people, right? Lindsey Graham, why is he crying, begging for money? Republicans, conservative camps, Democratic pizza joints. I'm just saying, I don't trust these things anymore, man. I just don't. I'm like, yeah, you got an answer? Well, go tell it to the next guy, because you ain't telling. Jehova Witness. Dude, I was thinking about after the Dalai Lama, I was thinking about Michael Jackson, and I go, that was a weird scene when Michael Jackson went into the Jehova Witness thing for a while, right? I was like, that's weird. Why did he go into Jehovah? Why would the king of pop be in the Jehova Witnesses?
Well, I thought that they were Jehovah Witnesses early on in life. Like when he's a kid, the family was Jehovah Witness when they were young.
Do you know? Wrong? I don't know. I think
you're right.
I think I don't know, but he became the king. Listen. So the Jehovah Witnesses have a ton of lawsuits against them for pedophilia, and the church is hiding it. Okay, that's Jehovah Witness. Okay.
Really?
Yes. Look it up. For sure. It's almost like no longer like the Watchtower was all.
Really?
Yes. Okay.
That's so crazy, bro.
And not only that,
they're so. Because I feel like they're so crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them. And then check this out. Okay, so maybe his family was in it. So maybe that's how Michael got fucked up. I don't know. But right, he becomes the biggest pop star in the world. Pepsi, motherfucking cola, everything, right? Brooke Shields, he could fuck anybody he want to fuck. What's he want to do? He wants to go into the Jehovah Witness thing and do a Jehovah Witness. He apologized for Thriller. And I guarantee you that someone in the Jehovah Witnesses was like, you know, Michael, we remember you. We remember you had all these different things that you went to and all these different and these boys told us about what you did. Be ashamed if that came out, huh? And you know our ranks are down and people don't think that Jehovah Witnesses are that cool. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to give you even more access and we're going to protect all your secrets. And in return, you're going to be the coolest king of pop who's also a Jehovah Witness publicly. I think that they knew he was a pedophile. He used it to make sure that he got them good PR back in the 80s, for sure. Guaranteed. I guarantee it. Why else would the pop star do that?
I didn't understand it to be that way. I understood it to be that they were little kids and they were at Jehovah's Witness when they were young, and then they left it as they got older.
Well, he remembered something and went back.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Let's see. I'm gonna look this up. Jehovah Witness lawsuits, bro. There's class action.
Dude, there's a Vice documentary about a secret database of thousands of Jehovah Witness child sex offenders.
Yes. Fuck. Thousands. Jehovah Witness. Those were supposed to be the one people where it's like, you don't even get to have a birthday, motherfucker.
Right.
You got to leave when we fucking, right?
Yeah. Right. No Christmas, no presents, no.
Turns out they got a database of thousands of child offenders and they hid that from public view.
Holy shit.
Mormons, right?
Thousands?
Yeah.
Click on that shit.
Yeah, click on that shit, motherfucker.
There.
Baptized into the Jehovah's Witness religion when I was 15 years old, and I never questioned it.
I liked not being one of the masses who weren't enlightened.
I felt that I had won the lottery. I was born into the only true religion.
I just wanted to know truth. I wanted to know what was real. Everything I had been taught was false.
There were adults in the congregation that knew about the abuse.
So much hidden documentation of child abuse that Watchtower does not want the public to know about.
I myself have been through a ton of abuse.
The problem of sexual abuse in the Jehovah's Witness organization
is much, much more significant than in the Catholic Church.
The dirty little secrets are
I believe that.
Vice Versa presents Crusaders. Ex-Jehovah's Witnesses speak out.
Now, you know what's, that's a check. I just want to stop that for a second and completely off subject of that. The way they present that piece right there is interesting because they got some people to talk about that subject matter that were there. And then they market it with all the crazy fucking shit they can get and packages like it really, they package it up. It's interesting the way that little thing went. But,
well, they know it's going to get eyeballs by making it salacious.
And it really is, bro. But it's just smart the way they're. But yeah, man. I mean, fuck, bro. I believe that too, Chuman. I believe that too.
So
way deeper than the Catholic Church.
I can tell you right now that there's lawyers that I know that are working on class action lawsuits involving these victims. Like class action, meaning it's the same person, same set of circumstances, and that court has decided, you know what? It'd be a waste of time for us to try the same exact shit over and over and over again. We're just going to do it all in one. That's how big it is.
Listen, isn't the Archbishop or whatever the fuck, they're paying out reparations or some shit. Millions and millions and millions a year.
Yeah.
They're paying to make right with all these kids that were getting their shirts tucked in for too long by Father Pumpkin.
O'Bannon.
Yeah. Father O'Bannon. And so but think about that and think about how long the Catholic Church, and then think about something like, and the Jehovah's Witness, like, man, dude, it's crazy. How long have the Jehovah's Witness been around?
I don't know.
Is it an old, like...
I don't know how old it is. It's like...
could it have started in the 19th or the 18th century?
I think it might have been the 19th. I, for some reason, think it's not older than 100 years.
No. Don't tell me that.
1870s.
1870s.
Brother.
Dude, my wife was a Jehovah's Witness when she was a kid.
That ain't cool, bro.
And they left because the aunt got sick and she needed like blood transfusion, and they believe that you can't put someone else's blood in your body or something. So they all fuck that.
No such thing as blood transfusion. Yeah. Transplant, nothing. You have to refuse blood I've heard that. So dude, you have to refuse blood. So if you got into like an accident and either you needed blood or it was transfusion, you have to say no because you're Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, fuck that. That's set up to like let people who get attacked die.
No, look at the face he made. You shouldn't have done that.
No. That's like those religions where you're not supposed to go to the doctor. I feel like that's all about the doctor not being a mandated reporter and telling like, yeah, something happened to this kid. Oh, no, we don't believe in doctors in our religion. Jesus is going to heal all. Fuck that. David Koresh? Fucking, come on, dude. A harem? Fucking people in Waco? I mean, what kind of a person wants to live in a commune with other, like, uptight people with a failed musician like that David Koresh with that weird hair and, like, arm up and let your wife sleep with him and give him your money? Who the fuck wants to do that?
What you just described was somebody who did it bigger, but you described it sounded like Charles Manson.
For sure.
Right?
For sure. And, right, Charles Manson, why did he get nailed on the cross? Why did they, there's a lot of weird fucks running around leading cuckoos. Why did they bear down on Manson? He didn't even actually kill anybody. I'm not saying he shouldn't go to jail. I'm just saying it was a hard case to prove.
That's some CIA shit.
I for sure think that one of the ways you deal with shit like this is you got compromise. I bet you this conversation sounds so stupid to NSA and CIA people because they're like, yeah, what do you mean? World's full of creeps. We fucking let them be creepy so long as they fucking give us what we need. The minute they fuck up, it almost seems like the whole reason why you make rules against sex is so that all these perverts are going to be under the gun. Like, okay, I mean, you're not supposed to do X and you're not supposed to do Y. Oh, we caught him doing Y. Okay, now you've been caught doing Y. You can either kill this guy or you're going to be killed. And no one's going to believe you. What is Epstein doing with all those cameras? What's he doing with all that shit? I got to believe that there is nothing but blackmail and extortion going on
everywhere, right?
All over. No way. There's no way I don't believe that.
Right.
At this stage. And I'm almost like, you know what, man? I almost go big Lux on that. I'm almost like, miss me with that shit. I'm not in your game. I'm not dealing with you. I'm not going to your fucking whatever that revival is. I'm not doing none of that. Miss me with that shit. I'm just chilling. I'm going to do a podcast. And you can yell at me for saying weird shit on the fucking thing. That's fine. But I ain't doing that. I'm not going there. I don't want to get involved. No, I don't want to learn the good news. I don't. Don't tell me any more good news, motherfucker. I don't need it. Because it seems like it leads to all this shit. Jehova Witness. I mean, even if they're not predators, you can't have blood. Who came up with that?
Bullshit.
Who can prove
A man.
That's a fucking go to the Catholic.
A man wrote that, man.
So crazy. A fucking crackers.
Some dudes wrote that. And like, it's seeming, more and more is that a lot of these, why is it so prominent? Male on male sex with kids. Like, why is it that it's everywhere in all of it? Like, what the fuck is going on?
I think I genuinely believe that it has to do with the way things are structured socially. There's something weird about the way society is set up that is opening the path to this. I don't know what it is, and I have a feeling that like
what? They educate or socialize their women differently so that they're able to suppress men to run away and go into fucking what? What do you mean?
No, I mean like social assumptions that we don't think about. Okay, so we don't think about it really, right? We don't think about it because it's so baked into our society that we don't think about it, but it has a lot of unintended consequences. So for instance, if you make a religion that's all about a young man who's tortured, right? And he's, put up on a cross, and you focus on that, and you develop this whole thing around sacrificing the son. You sacrifice the son, and that's going to, somehow undo the hereditary guilt, the original sin. Yeah, you do all of that. Something about that, I think, puts a weird focus on that. That's what I think. And you bring a lot of young kids, into contact with these adults that get to wear different clothes that's not normal in the regular society. And you create this system of the father to son worship. And you de-emphasize the role of women. Yeah, man, I think it does get weird. And there is unintended shit floating around. I do think that. I actually don't think it's natural for people to want to harm kids. I really don't. And I don't think of it as like a depraved sex thing in the sense of like, oh, this person's just an animal and they've got the sex or whatever. It has something to do with harming kids, man.
Let's back up a minute though. So, if I mean, goddamn, bro. I mean, I'm gonna say something that's probably not very popular, but I just have to believe it, and that is that how people are always saying like, oh, it was like that then, and you're always like, it's like that now. It was like that then too. I think there's no way you stumble in, or this becomes exposed and you start looking at the allegations of what this might be.
Yeah.
And have to say to yourself that, it's gotten corrupted, or it's gotten so like this, like if you look at it, then it's probably like that, probably pretty much from its conception. This has been going on. Maybe it was built for that. Who knows? But it didn't just start 50 years ago.
No.
Didn't just start 100 years ago.
No, but
didn't just start with him. Like he's the sick fuck, and get what I'm saying? Like
100%. But that's why I'm saying I agree with you, except to the point that I don't know that if you weren't in a city state like Babylon or like these early Egypt, right? Maybe there's something about the way the rules are laid out and the standardized way of living so close together or something. I don't know if before that, whatever social civilization that was, I don't know if it's natural for adults to harm children. I don't know that it is. I'm just telling you, I grew up in some real fucked up situations, right? And I think about kids and I'm like, man, they don't need that fucking shit. A human body is so much stronger than a kid. It's fucking sad. It's not right. Like even
of course not.
No. But these guys, these guys, dude, think about what it would take. It's not like one-offs. Think about what it would take for these men, these adult men who are wearing the Vespers or whatever the fuck that's called, the robes. They're in front of a flock. And when they look at that flock and they talk about God and his compassion, he sees the parents of some of the kids he fucked up. And he knows it. That's the level of lie you'd have to be able to live with.
Listen, and you want to know something else? Is like, not only that, but you're also doing that, but you're also, what's going on. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing what you're doing, but you're not some mad priest off on doing some crazy.
Right.
You know that you're getting down. You're either groomed or you're taught, or the other.
Yes.
The guy with this communion down here. They even get together maybe and do weird shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like that. There's that level of deception. Like those guys are getting over on the whole church community and everybody.
Right.
Their little deeds. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's for.
Right.
This is why I'm saying that these religions or cults are built for this. It's to be able to get over on these true believers. These naive people that don't know any better, should know better, but they don't. And they're taught not to know any better. Like, don't be questioning too much. That's how the devil gets you. I definitely think, bro. So if you have somebody grow up normal, like when I say normal, I'm trying to think of, I guess it's hard for me to even contemplate what it would look like to be outside the systems that we're in. And when I say systems, I don't just mean like America. I'm talking about the whole Western history, okay? You go through all that and I think about, you know what, man? I don't know that if you were truly just living off the land and you were doing your thing and you built a little thing, I don't know that you would be like, your mind would go there. Your mind would be like, oh, I want to hurt my own kid or I want to hurt somebody else's kid. I don't know that you'd be thinking like that. But somehow with these civilizations and these huge institutions, it somehow creates this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And then the secret itself almost seems like it's got its own desire. Like the secret is part of it for these people. They want to maintain the secret, and the victim usually feels this shame, and the adult knows that, and that's part of the secret. And it's this sort of like hidden dimension to society that these people want to participate in, and it's really wrecks lives.
I think, and two, I want to add something. That's that. I think people really. There are people that really, really believe in this in the religion itself and what's been pitched.
Right.
And entrust their kids and their life, man. Hands down. They wouldn't, even with all the information, bro. There are people that they believe in this religion in their heart, to every cell in their body, man.
Yeah.
Like, and anything we say or put is blasphemy, bro.
Yeah.
And you'll burn, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll burn. So I think, and that too, like we were talking about earlier, Chumahan, is like years and years and years of something being imposed.
Yeah.
It becomes your reality if you're, it can become your reality. The other thing I wanted you to think about is, so the Dalai Lama, back to the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
I have to, okay. So when I think of like a Michael Jackson or some of these, fucking dudes, like some of these predators.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There always leaves me with, it's like if you search down the rabbit hole far enough on that shit with your ideas and why, and if you can get past and just start looking and trying to figure out why, it always comes back to like, dude, that had to have been done to them. For them, I believe, to start having a concept of it, or something happened weird, and that's how it came out. I don't know, but a lot of times, the hurt people, but yes, like some of it's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. But if you start being molested by some fucking weirdos, excuse me, and you're a little kid, man, and far before you get to puberty, and you got somebody doing some weird stuff to you, and that gets in your psyche, and you don't, and by the time you hit puberty, your mind's already trained for has somehow now morphed.
Well,
along with probably all sorts of other stuff that's about to come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, or you just fall, it becomes where the whole experience is supported. Nobody's questioning, asking. It's normalized up, and it needs to be hidden, but it's normal. It's like whatever this dialogue may be. Maybe there is no dialogue. It's all silently just happens. But dude, to think about one guy, one human mind developing and doing all that, like all the depths of how he did it all and went to say, like it just seems like, man, like that was somewhere I would think it was something was modeled, like some part of it was modeled.
Yeah. So
and you get what I'm saying?
I do, but to complicate it further, there's a couple of pieces that like are question marks. One is, how does human sexuality really work? We have a foggy idea that something happens to kids at some point, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, right? And that somehow plays some kind of role in whatever their selection is later. We have some idea, but we don't really yet know how that operates. Where's the imprint? When does that happen? And does the imprint follow like some sort of rational equation? Like you do this at this age, it ends up like that. We don't have that. So that's one. Two is, we have such a hard time trying to detach ourselves from all of the ideas that are thrust upon us just being alive in the time that we're alive. It's really hard. So it almost feels like all of us, like, oh, we're blank slates and we just kind of, make choices, and those choices have consequences, right? But the truth of the matter is, there's a whole reality that's defined for you by other people from the gate. And it's almost impossible to figure out, how do I get away from that? So we can say like, oh, this individual modeled it for me. But who among us cannot say that the concept of human beings being kicked out of the Garden of Eden, whether you're atheist or not, that humans are outside of nature? Who can say that hasn't been totally absorbed at such a deep level that it almost doesn't seem like it's affecting us? That's the level of socialization that I don't think we can at any point in our lives be like, yeah, I was kind of a blank slate and then I made these choices, or this was modeled for me. Everything. What's branding? The shows, streets, what's private property, who's a man, who's a woman, all that stuff, right, is already laid out, and we don't really know or understand the full effect of it on how you think of yourself and what that does to your sexual desires, right? What does that do? You know, we don't have a clean grip on that at all. We don't really know. We just know that there's social norms and stuff that we're trying to promote, and everyone's trying to fit that. Like this issue with the gender thing, right? Like on some level,
the gender bender.
On some level, you know, you have a situation where it's like, does the confusion come because there's examples of people doing things that are not part of the traditional thing, or are people already confused inside? Like quietly in the night, a lot of people, yeah, like I'm not confused, I'm a guy, but there's so many things about me that don't necessarily line up with that. You know, there's this, there's that, there's this, there's all this pressure. Some guys can't even piss in a urinal because they're stressed out about being a guy. It's true. Go ahead, Sean. Boy, Sean.
That's crazy.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, dude.
Look it up. There's guys that go and they get stage fright. Dude, I learned it from Cheech.
What?
Yes, Cheech and Chong. He went to go pee when the cop was right there, and he would talk to his dick, and he was like, he's got stage fright. There is pee paralysis, 1,000%. Okay. So the point being is that, so is that confusion that's caused by the example of somebody who's living something different, or is it confusion already there? We don't know the answer to that, because you can never point to a time in history and say, well, that's when men knew that they were men and women knew that they were women. There's no point.
Well, listen, there's some crazy. I mean, if you think, right now I'm just talking about the Dalai Lama.
Right.
I'm just taking that for.
Go ahead.
If that's been going on for a long time.
It has been.
And we're right. So, and we're catching wind right now of the Dalai Lama at that level. Where it's 2023.
Yeah.
And we're right now getting a piece that can't be denied. Right?
Yeah.
Real proof.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's fine. But it's 2003. So in this whole time that's been going down, nobody's been able to produce that.
Well, so part of it would be technology, right? Part of it would be when was there cameras and when was there films. And there was a time when the Tibetans that were living up there in the monastery, the 13th or the 12th Dalai Lama put a kibosh on. He didn't want all these cameras and shit.
I get all that, bro, but you also got to remember, you got all these fucking kids that are growing into men, right, and they're Tibetan. Let's Google that. How many accusations are there against?
Oh, that's great, because I don't know that there would be very many, because they're not in America.
Doesn't matter. There's technology.
There is now.
That's what I'm saying. Well, there has been for the last. I'm saying, let's see, because by this point in time, even if you had 100,
right?
Well,
let's see what this kicks off, because
Because technology could also provide them a way to hide it.
Because remember, the Tibetans...
There'd be no such thing as any kind of... they don't report anything.
They live in... The Tibetan Dalai Lama lives in exile in India.
Right.
Dar es Salaam. Go ahead. What? You seen anything?
Hold on one second. Let me read what it says.
Yeah. So, and the other piece of this is that the Tibetan situation became one of the PR things for the Americans against the Chinese.
They were against Chinese because they had to run from China into the mountains, right?
Yeah, and I do believe that the CIA would have paid them.
Wasn't China about to fucking just kill them all?
Yeah, they came in with fucking guns and blew these fuckers, were blowing them to smithereens. And these were peaceful monks. And they probably were, to a certain extent, peaceful monks. And, Penn and Teller did a shtick on the Tibetan lamas and said, the Dalai Lama, that was a kingdom. Don't get it twisted. They had peasants who worked all day so that these priests could live up in a mountain. Don't get that twisted. That was what was going on there, too.
There was about 12 accusations back in the 90s. That's all I can find.
That's enough from you right there. 12?
Yeah.
And remember what Noah Levine said about the Lama. What was his name? Remember he said he got caught and forcing one of his not kids, but forcing his female followers to suck his dick.
Hey, bro, what about that dude from Santa Monica?
Which one?
What?
The Kundalini dude.
Right, the Kundalini.
Careful, he ain't from Santa Monica.
No, he was.
He lived in Santa Monica.
He was on Second Street.
Yeah. Venice. He was from Venice.
Yeah, he was running the reality center when I went in there. Don't worry about it. Told me close my eyes and put some headphones on. It'll be real good.
Yeah, that's the wrong way to approach it. Hey, how about that guy from Santa Monica?
Oh shit.
Fuck, bro. All right.
Yeah, they got another Tibetan Buddhist monk right here by the name of Sogyal Lakar. And he
what is his name? Sogyal Makak.
What? But he was accused of widespread physical and sexual abuse, and he recently died at the age of 72. And he wrote millions of books.
Millions of books?
And it says known as a Tibetan Buddhist teacher after the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
It said, but allegations of physical and sexual abuse followed by Lakar, although he was never found guilty of any crimes.
So that's good.
So an investigation commissioned by his group concluded that some followers were abused by him.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's what I'm saying. This guruism is a problem. Fucking one guy gets in charge of a bunch of people. He starts thinking the rules don't apply to him.
Well, there it is there, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's
you gotta live your own life, bro. That's what it is.
I hear what you're saying, because the guys that are going after that, or the people or the person that comes up with that idea to even do that, you're saying?
Yeah.
That's some of the telltale signs.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
Scientology. Symptoms. These are some of the symptoms of a fucking nut.
Right.
So I do. So let's back up and let's look at some communities that have worked, because there's societies that started from communities that, I don't know if they've worked, but they didn't go that route. You know what I'm saying? I would hope, but is everybody fucked up? Is there anything that's still, when we start stepping back and looking? Religion is a wrap. There's a lot of shit in the Catholic religion.
Sure. And plenty in the fucking evangelical.
So in Jehovah's Witness.
Right.
And we believe on this show there's no way that all that.
I'm on the camp of get the fuck out of Tibet. Don't fuck around like that.
So here you go. And along with a lot of these cult, right? It was it's craziness. So
even some certain musicians that get a lot of control. Dude, I'm not going to say who, But I had a buddy who was working with lots of different musicians and producers, and one of them told my buddy that he wanted to start a sex cult, and he was looking into buying an island, and it wasn't Epstein. Okay, the guy was not a musician. So I'll leave it right there because I don't know for a fact, but that was just told to me in passing. So anybody that's amassing this, like, I don't know, man, not anybody, but a lot, so religion, cult, and potentially these cult of personality type things, you got to just keep your eye.
Celebrity?
Yeah, you just got to keep your eye open.
I think that celebrity screws up. I think celebrity screws up people. I think, especially at some of the levels that it's getting to, like the sensationalism of it on certain levels. I mean, bro, if you, and I'm not saying that they didn't ask for it. I'm not talking about you, but if you're going everywhere and you can't go anywhere, cameras are on you at all times. I mean, even in your home, they're trying to poke through your windows, right? You know what I'm saying? Like one of those.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You know, like choppers flying over your fucking island, you know, like whatever the fuck. Like, it's just so, I don't know, man. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want those headaches. And if you've had that and you've had it for years, it just seems like those people, there's just a lot of weirdness that goes along with it because it's totally not natural. The whole thing, I feel like.
Well, you know, in a lot of societies, you do have like certain American Indian ones, right? In the old days, some of the things you read about and hear about is like, for instance, like a person like a Sitting Bull or somebody like this, or a Crazy Horse, who is a prominent figure, and people do look to them for decisions, but it's not really binding on everybody. Like I've said before, like if they signed a contract, it wasn't a principle in that community that meant everybody that's behind me is also signed on that contract. No, the individual rights and whatever still exist, and you don't have to negotiate with each and every one of these people, because the way our society is looking at things is like everybody's an empowered adult, and each one of these motherfuckers can leave the situation and go shut up shop wherever they want in this wilderness. So we don't have the right to make people bow down to certain things that we've dictated. Having said that, because I've shown like that I'm a dignified person or I have some abilities, people tend to follow what I'm doing. So I don't know if there's a different way of following in different societies that wouldn't corrupt somebody the way you were talking about it. Because maybe the way that it's been commodified in our situation now, that so, you know, you'd probably have to say in every group of humans, there's some leadership aspect, and then there's these people that evaluate. So what is that, right? And then when you put it in these different economic situations, so you put it in America where X, Y, and Z, or you put it in a place, you know, in Europe where it's like this, or whatever that is, if that follower leader thing also doesn't get corrupted. If there is a different style, this is why I'm saying it's a shame that there's a lot of civilizations around the world, now that we've got the technology to do things that we didn't have before, where we could look at some alternative ways of defining leadership, defining autonomy, defining, you know, what your life is. It's really hard to think about alternatives in the situation that the world finds itself in now.
How could everybody else be corrupt and we're not?
Well, so everybody else isn't corrupt.
No, I'm not saying everybody, but like we have fucking countries like, you know, when you go to a place, Brazil, South America, fucking China, Russia. Yeah, fucking, there's all sorts of parts of Central America that are just,
you could bribe
their economies are just falling apart.
Yeah.
The shit's fucked up. India.
Yeah.
Know, Africa.
Yeah.
So all these countries that I just mentioned are riddled with what?
With
corruption.
Corruption.
So you're going to tell me that you have those many masses of people all over the world with other masses of people and politics and all the different shit, but there's corruption. And in America, we're just like all bored on like police of the world. We're corrupt too, is what I'm saying.
No, that's 100%
it's
correct.
Embedded in humans.
This is where I'm saying we have to be careful. Only at that point. It's embedded in the way we've organized ourselves now. Is it truly embedded in all humans? I won't go that far yet. I will say this, the West's doctrine of all humans are fucked up is where that all starts. I mean, how do you undo it? How the fuck do you undo that? So Adam, let me really think about this. The snake, the devil dressed as a serpent tells Eve, right? Eat from the one tree God said don't eat from. And it's the tree of good and evil, which means they don't have knowledge of good and evil. And what's their life like when they don't have knowledge of good and evil? Well, shit, it's beautiful. They live in paradise. They live in Eden. They don't have to work. Nobody has to work. There's no menstrual cramps. No women die in childbirth, all that stuff, okay? So the woman is deceived. She eats from the apple. Then she becomes ashamed and realizes she's naked. Before that, she didn't know she was naked. Why? Because she was so pure. Then she turns to her man and says, you eat it too. And he does. And now he's ashamed. And now they try to hide from God. Okay. They know good and evil. That so-called disobedience, which, by the way, how could Adam and Eve know that disobeying God is wrong if they don't have the knowledge of good and evil until after they disobey God? Really think about that. How is that even fucking possible? Then think about how is it that the rest of humanity carries the curse of those two people?
That's astonishing. I've just never made sense. That's why I don't believe in it.
Well, think about this. How far of a leap is it from, there's no way we all have that, but human beings must be fucked up because look at the world. Those are related concepts. Those are related concepts. And why are humans corrupt the way we look at the world now and say it's all fucked? Why is there corruption in any of our systems? It's because there's oppressed people that are desperate.
Right.
And why are they desperate?
Because they're scared. Because at the bottom of all of it is fear.
Because there's rich fucks that aren't sharing any of the wealth and they live in poverty. You got Big Pig Mike listening to rich bitches in New York interview a rich con man and his head's exploding because he's never had that problem. Right? So when you are put in those desperate situations, artificially desperate situations, it really doesn't have to be that way. I mean, really. By nations. Who, by the way, a lot of these nations still have kings and queens. England still has it. Huge private property owner. Italy, France, all Europe, Japan. The Emperor of Japan's still alive. All these motherfuckers, right? And there's just masses of people that don't have that. And they're at the mercy of these people that have the power. And in that situation, they're willing to do some corruption in order to get around. And then we turn around and say, didn't we tell you? Human beings are fucked. You need cops. Why? Because human beings are fucked. You need these laws. Why?
Listen, man. Okay.
So that's
we'll
why.
Wrap it up with this.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Sorry.
I agree with you. Because when you unwind that, right?
Right.
We both know if everybody in a dream world, maybe in the natural world,
right?
If everybody shared, if we used all our technology to start feeding the world,
right?
Building a home for every person on the planet,
right?
Think about that.
Serious.
Running water,
clean
water, health care.
Right.
For the world, bro. Like, remove the idea of money.
Right.
But you don't need money.
You don't.
We're all going to take our talents. His talent is taking pictures.
Right.
Your talent is helping people, figure you might be out of a job.
No, education.
Right, education. You know what I'm saying? No, right. We're all going to find our little places. I'm going to teach people how to sew clothing and make clothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And everybody's out to look out because there's enough. Man, we're going to build you a car.
Right.
We're going to build the older guy that always wanted to. Everybody's going to get their car. Everybody's going to there's enough for everybody's going to get a meal.
Right.
I mean, really, bro. Everybody gets to have a watch. We can, maybe not at the top tier of everything for maybe there's luxury stuff, but everybody's going to get what they need. Nobody needs to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
That's totally possible.
It's possible, but there's always, to be interrupted, there's always one person out of the fucking group who wants more.
Hold on, stop. Hold on. Listen, that's true, but we have that now. And you deal with that in the same way we deal with it now. That person doesn't get more. Yeah, he wants more. She wants more. That's true. You're always going to get, or you're going to get a loafer. Totally. But we have that now.
Totally.
Guess what? I'd rather have clean water for everybody and deal with 10% assholes who are trying to get more than they're entitled to than what we got right now.
Oh, right now we got a pile of shit. I already know. I'm going through it. And the moment I have to work harder for it, the more I get pushed back.
Right.
And it's by design, but I'm willing to fight through it to get mine. And what happens is, once you adhere yourself to that, now you're playing the game. What do I need to do? So am I still sticking to my ideology, like let's share with everybody? Or am I getting mine and I have mine and I'm not going to share because I had to work my ass off for it? So that's the fucking dilemma.
So it's a great dilemma you bring up. The idea is I paid in blood.
Right.
So I don't want anyone else to have anything that they didn't pay in blood for. And I'm going to say this right now. It takes a person of courage to stand up and say, after all that school and pain and suffering, I'm going to fucking let it go if it means a better world all the way around. And I am.
Word.
I am. I'm saying that.
What?
I'm saying it right now. That's why I don't try to cheat on my taxes. I don't. Because I actually believe taxes are important. I don't think it's cool to sit there and fucking not pay it. I don't do that. I'm not Trump. I don't do that shit. I really don't. Why? Because I think kids need to go to schools where they ain't going to get shot at.
Right.
That's the world I grew up in. And you know what? Adults made this world. We can look around and bitch all day, but who made it?
Yeah, man. I can't agree with. I mean, I'm right on with you on all that, Juman. I mean, for real. Like, and man, yeah, very frustrated. But I have a belief. I also have a belief in the United States and hopes for the United States. But yes, man, like, I mean, this country is fucked up inside and out in a lot of fucking ways, bro. You know, the fact, back to, and we're out, but the fact that we cannot fucking we have a solution for all the kids getting killed in schools.
We do.
And then no matter, I mean, they just got to keep on dying by the hundreds and then by thousands every day. And we can't get people to just like, hey, and it's not even, we're going to take it away and you have nothing to defend yourself with. It's changing up the laws. It's removing fucking automatic machine guns that are meant for war off the streets. Nobody needs it.
That's the reason why you can't, that's one of the reasons why I think homeschooling is actually a problem. The reason why I think it's a problem is because once you shatter the schooling where lots of different kids come together and start learning about this country, once you shatter that into a multiple splinters, so now it's all isolated, it's the only way you can get people who think that there's just alternate versions of facts and realities and they think they know. They don't realize they've been raised in a veal bubble, like a veal. They've got this little circle and they were taught in their little homeschool about what they think is important. You don't hear about, a lot of important people in history that are actually real and did shit. Like there was this little dude, this little short dude, Benjamin. Fuck, what was his name? Well, I'm going to do a show about this guy. Benjamin Lay, right? Before one of the early settlers, one of the most ethical, hard fucking dudes. And it's a good story. And it's a story about one of our early founding fathers that was against a lot of the fucking economic bullshit that we think they are now. You won't hear about that in these homeschools. You won't hear that Jehovah Witnesses have all these lawsuits.
Yeah, there you go. You got to listen to Hard Luck Show to get that kind of information.
Breaking veal kids out of the fucking pen.
You got to be careful with these, like we're saying, man, religious, a lot of these cults, a lot of these, what did you call it?
I don't remember what I call it, but you got to take responsibility for your life. You got to
You said guruism.
Yeah, guruism.
Yeah, listen, man. Thanks, Juman.
Thank you.
It's crazy out there. And please keep an eye on your kids.
Raise
crazy
them
out there. Yeah, show up for them. Be there. And it's just been great, man. So thank you. I want to shout out to Vibes, one of our sponsors, Bolt CBD, Alien CBD, Cookies, Soul Assassins, Esteban Oreo, and Supermax Hardware.com, and Enzo's Pizzeria. Thank you, Enzo's Pizzeria. And for all the great sandwiches. And Pulpo Beard Oil.
Yes.
Pulpo Beard Oil. Calco 55. Jesus. Instagram Jesus. RU50.
Yeah, 510.
510.
Congratulations. He's a new father.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
And yeah, man, that's, and you know what, you guys? Check my Instagram. Something going on when, on my Instagram, peep it out. It's a Lion. They're doing a little fundraiser.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
They're doing a fundraiser for him, for some, he's going through a lot of medical stuff, Lion. So, peep out and just keep an eye on my Instagram. See how you can peep it out and get involved.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Big Mike.
Mike Angelo Photography and IG, Bionic Sound Systems, got your DJ service for y'all. The gentleman here at the Hard Luck Show, give a bad shout out to all y'all.
www.hardluckshow.com.
Ovandabone LLP. We wear braids to court.
What is that? What is that? Play it again. Play it again.
It's one of our guests.
Dragonbags.com for all your cornhole bagging needs, popping patches, and Beyond Dragon. Check it out.
Love big dick.
And like we do about this time.
Hasta la vista, baby.
How's the house thing going?
It's fucked.